908 Dirty Heads right there with My Sweet Summer. You're now tuned in to the Average Joe Sports Show here on Eagle 810's Morning Cruise Control. I'm Senior Airman Kellen Carr, host of the show, and I got my three guests in the studio. To my left, I got Phillsner. What's up, man?
Hey, man, it's great to be here. So glad to be back on the show again. And happy Friday to everybody out there.
Most definitely.
And
happy Finally Friday.
Yeah, happy Finally Friday. And, hey, you know what we got coming up this weekend? That Friendship Festival. So everybody get out there and have a good time.
All right. And also in front of me, I got Hollywood. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? Just good to be back here on Friday and getting ready to see NFL season coming up to start here. Seahawks, Packers, we got it on the tube. So, let's get the show started.
Most definitely. And to my right, we got Jay. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm feeling great right now. I want to watch the game, but Hollywood's like laptop-sized phone is in my way. Right? So I'm gonna just brush it off with this terrible towel that I have waving around here.
He really did bring a terrible towel
That's
in
right.
the studio.
Football season started, baby.
And that towel is like the Steelers, man. It stinks.
Oh, we got shots fired already in the studio. And we got a lot going on. Football season kicked off. College football last week, week one wrapped up. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to talk about the start of the NFL season and who we think are the biggest turnarounds, who are going to be the biggest disappointments this year. We'll also talk about Wes Welker got himself into some trouble.
Yeah, he did.
And,
Passing out hundreds.
Passing out hundreds, popping Molly. So we're going to be talking about that here in a moment. You guys stay tuned. It is the Average Joe Sports Show. We got some Club Alliance Aloha bingo tickets to give away and also free food courtesy of Code Exchange Food Court if you decide to call in and weigh in on any of our topics. But stay tuned. We'll do more here in a moment. Here's Ariana Grande and Iggy Azalea. These two ladies are on top of the game right now. Here's their number one single. It's titled Problem. 916 at Hot Shell Ray right there with I Like It Like That. The Average Joe Sports Show is what was coming out of my mouth. Now check it out. We got Phillsner, we got Hollywood, and we got Jay in here. And it's time to talk, man. Football season is here. College football actually kicked off last week. Now, after week one, who are we liking right now? Who do you think is going to make the playoffs, and who do you think is a bit overrated? Go ahead.
Overrated.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll kick this off,
You're
right?
seed.
I can't go against Florida State this year. I can't do it. And I also think, it's not the Rose Bowl without a Big Ten team and a Pac-10 team. So I'm going with Oregon and Michigan State to win the Big Ten. And then there's obviously going to be an SEC team. So I'm going to pick a dark horse from the SEC. I'm going with Georgia to win the SEC and make it to this playoff, man.
Oh, man.
I know I'm all over the board here, but I'm making some bold predictions here, all right?
And you say at Florida State, even after they just beat an unranked Oklahoma State 37-31.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they went in there and blew them out. They're number one. They beat them 37-31. I'm just saying.
I'm going to have to go and say that Florida State is probably overrated right now as far as getting
agree.
into the top four. I mean, they did struggle with Oklahoma State. Man, Oklahoma State's not like a cupcake team, but, I mean, if you're the number one team, you should be your first game
You're
of the season.
beating an unranked team. You're playing an unranked
barely
team.
beating them. They had to come back for that too, right?
Yeah.
And then, as far as would you say Georgia, dark horse? I mean, SEC, man, they're a good conference.
SEC's
They're always
deep.
They're gonna have a team in the top four, regardless. It's just whether or not some of these other conferences have one or they have two. SEC might end up having two.
Yeah, but usually you get those SA teams from the SEC West, the LSU, the Alabama.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you said
know.
dark horse.
Yeah.
Probably people don't expect Georgia to be
No,
the
nobody
SEC
expects
team.
Georgia to be the SEC.
That's kind of a gutsy call there, but.
What are your thoughts, Jay?
You already know, my dark horse is clearly Hofstra. Okay, I mean, Florida State, I wouldn't necessarily call them overrated right now. They're still working out the kinks. They lost a lot of pieces last year to the draft and to graduation, so they're just trying to work out the kinks. I think they'll get it. Honestly, I think Oregon's overrated. If you want me to be completely honest with you, like Oregon is the same song that we sing every single year. They're always in the top five, and then they end up losing and bombing out. Marcus Mariota is a great quarterback, Heisman candidate, but Oregon is the most overrated team to me. And then Alabama didn't look too hot against West Virginia
I would
either.
say Alabama didn't. They won 33-23.
The only team that looked good in the first week to me, honestly, was Georgia.
What about Texas A&M?
Well,
Texas
A&M. Kenny Hill.
Texas
And don't forget about
A&M.
USC.
I say Texas A&M is
Forget about
frowned.
them for now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, LSU kind of had their struggles and everything like that.
Yeah.
Alabama, South Carolina just lost. So it's like, it's an open board to me, man.
I think Texas A&M, for them to go into South Carolina and win 52-28, man, that was big right
That's a
there.
big
statement.
21 versus number 9. That's
And being a new
Huge.
pup to the SEC, barely being there
Watch out
what,
for
3
Sam-
years now, 3 seasons.
yeah,
So.
definitely
Houston State.
getting very interesting. But let's go ahead and move on to NFL because that's what we got going on AFN Sports right now. Check out myafn.net for your your complete TV schedule needs. But we got the Packers and the Seahawks getting ready to kick off.
yeah.
But starting NFL season, it is here. So who are we looking to see make the biggest turnaround? And what team do you think is in for a rough season? So first, I want to hear who you think your big turnaround season. Who's gonna be?
All right, I know the Packers made the playoffs last season, but they barely made the playoffs last season. Part of that was due to the Aaron Rodgers injury. No, he's back. He's healthy. I'm thinking that they're going to improve by 3 or 4 wins this season and make it back to the playoffs and possibly win that division. Probably win that division.
Phillsner said the Packers are his big turnaround team. Hollywood, who you think?
Well,
bro?
it's kind of hard to say being a AFC West, being a Chargers fan and you being a KC fan. But, the Raiders did make a lot of good moves this offseason.
They absolutely did.
And Derek Carr is just looking like a beast in preseason. And he's starter now.
Yep.
So
he beat out Matt Schaub.
And that's a scary division right now. It's up. I mean, the Broncos probably still win it, but as far as 2, 3, and 4, it's up for grabs. Maybe KC gets number 2. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm worried not getting the 3 spot and not making the playoffs this year.
Man, you're right. The AFC West is looking really, really thirsty right now, and
really
thirsty. I wouldn't say hungry, but they look thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And Jay, who's your turnaround team this year?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna look kind of like a jerk. I'm gonna go ahead and say Tampa Bay, man. All right, Tampa Bay, new coach Lovie Smith. All right, their defense they lost a corner. Okay, probably they lost Darrell Reeves, but to me there was a lot of bright spots in Tampa Bay last year, especially with that defense. I think all they needed was a coach who can actually manage them. Their division is hard, but I mean, Atlanta, the Panthers, you get past the defense, you really just have New Orleans standing in your way. So I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. I think they increased by like 3 games.
All right, you know what? For me, I'm going to tell you right now, the team that you guys didn't mention that they could very well, they're in a hard division, but they could change things depending on the quarterback play, is the Arizona Cardinals. Now
they were 10-6 last year.
They
missed the playoffs.
Exactly,
Yeah.
just missed the playoffs. But I think this year, if Carson Palmer, he's got plenty of weapons around him. Andre Ellington,
He just got hurt, though.
Eric Fitzgerald. They got John Brown, the D2 kid. Got to give him a shout out. He's at Pitt State, 20 miles away from Joplin, hometown. So got to give him a shout out. But they're looking good, man. You got to watch out for them. All right, and quickly, rough season. Who you think is in for a rough season this year?
Well, I had high hopes for St. Louis. They might make a little bit of noise, but with Sam Bradford out, man, it's going to be a long season for St. Louis fans.
All right, who you got, Hollywood?
Probably I'll say the Chargers, right? But
of course.
But also like the Bears in the AFC North, like you said, with the Packers having Aaron Rodgers back.
You think the Bears?
I know. You guys got shout out to Sergeant Blue and all that. But
no, it ain't about
I'm
Blue.
not saying they're not going to have a good season, but they probably just won't have as good as they did last year.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
It's a tough schedule. It's not that they're going to do bad; it's just a tough schedule.
Okay, all right, Jay. Philly. Enough said. For me, man, I got 2 teams, both New York teams, the Giants and the Jets.
I think that's every year though.
I'm just saying. I think both those teams are already in for a long season. Man, the Jets, they made some pickups. They got Chris Johnson. They picked up Eric Decker. They got Michael Vick, but they got Vick on the bench, which is neither here nor there. It's kind of scaring me if they're saying Geno already looks better than Vick, and then Chris Johnson's. He's always a question mark. Decker looked good in a Broncos system with Peyton Manning throwing you the ball, and you were the 3rd option. So of course you look good.
Open.
So I don't believe in the Jets, man. I think they're all in for a long season.
Believe in the Steelers.
Stay tuned, folks. We got the lightning round coming up here in a moment. We'll talk about Jim Irsay. We're talking Wes Welker, concussions, and much more topics, man. You guys stay tuned. It's the Average Joe Sports Show.
All right, guys. Dicka versus Category 5 Hurricane. Who you got?
I'm going to have to side with Mother Nature on this one.
Squirrel, you obviously don't know the true powers of Dicka's moose-laden hair. Dicka could stop any natural disaster with the flick of his mustache.
9:33, we're back here on the Average Joe Sports Show, and it's time to go ahead and get right into it. It's our lightning round. I'm Kellen. We got Phillsner in the studio, Hollywood, and Jay. Now, our first topic, Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, he was punished. He was suspended for 6 games, fined $500,000 by Commissioner Roger Goodell after pleading guilty to a driving while impaired. Now, was this punishment too light? What do you think, Phillsner?
First of all, I just want to say I have a lot of respect for what Jim Irsay has done for the Colts organization and the city of Indianapolis. Having said that, though, he got off light. This is a slap on the wrist. Guy's a billionaire, and you fine him $500,000? Come on.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, not just a fine, but that was a 6-game suspension. I mean, he's an owner. I mean, I'm sure he can have a better experience at home watching the game, just like the rest of us do, than at a stadium. So I'm sure he's gonna miss being at the stadium for games or stuff like that. You know, it's not like Jerry Jones down at the sideline or anything.
Okay, you stop taking my time? All right, so I mean, I think, you know, the punishment's cool with me, okay? 500,000, 6-game suspension. How much are you really going to do to an owner? The commissioner works for him.
That's true.
Come on, son. All right, I think the dude is fine.
All right. Well, with that being
Love his
said,
hair.
while we're going here talking about, punishments, Wes Welker, the Broncos receiver, he received a 4-game suspension for breaking the PED policy. They said he reportedly tested positive for amphetamines from a sample taken shortly after he attended the Kentucky Derby. And they say he was possibly taking Molly. He was out there seen at the Kentucky Derby passing out $100 bills to random people.
I think the $100 bills is what got him suspended.
And he said, I don't do drugs. Are you buying what Wes Welker is selling? And hopefully he's not selling anything.
Well, first of all, I'm very confused as to why they think that Molly is a PED. But, that aside, I just gave Wes Welker credit for having more sense than this. Whatever he got himself into, I just can't believe it.
All right, Hollywood.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the way the NFL handles their correction policies. It's not always, doesn't seem to be standard across the board. But, I know a couple of people on our fantasy league, they got Wes Welker on their team right now, so I'm kind of happy he's getting suspended.
Hey,
so that works for me.
I
don't believe anything Wes Welker said. Come on, it's a party at the Kentucky Derby. You ever been to the Kentucky Derby? It's a party, son, all right? Of course you did it. Nobody slipped you nothing, man. Just own it.
All right. Now, the NFL says the concussions are down 13%. With all the rule changes, the fines, the penalties that defensive players are given, do you feel it's worth changing the game in order to cut down on concussions in the league, or should they just be considered part of the game? Phillsner.
When you are talking about considering something that can cause permanent brain damage just part of the game, there's something wrong. On the one hand, I like defense in the NFL, but on the other hand, I don't want to see people having problems later in life from getting multiple concussions.
Hollywood.
Well, yeah, this whole crackdown on the concussion is just like crackdown on a lot of different injuries. You got to protect your investments. It is a business, and you'll hear this same kind of argument all the time from players and general managers. It's a business. These players, they put a lot of money into them, so they're going to put a lot of money into it and make sure that they're okay.
The buzzer sounded. Go ahead, Jay.
All right, I'm a football purist, so honestly, to me, man, concussions, you're right, it's protecting your investment, but it's a part of the game of football. You're going to get hit, you're going to get hurt, all right? You knew the risk when you come in. It's like boxing. All right, same way.
It's been around so long. That's how the game has been played. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, Manny Pacquiao, boxer Manny Pacquiao is courting Meta World Peace to the PBA. We're talking about the Philippine Basketball Association. Now, what do you think are the chances that Manny could get Meta World Peace over there? He's actually playing in China right now. Phillsner.
Well, I mean, Meta World Peace is obviously crazy, so I think the chances are pretty good. I mean, this guy, obviously, I don't know where he's going with his career right now, but if Manny Pacquiao wants him there, he can get him there.
All right, Hollywood.
I'll keep it
to the buzzer.
This is quick, but it should be a good relationship. We know Pacquiao is a great fighter, and Meta World Peace, he has his history of fighting as well, so it might work out in that perspective over there.
Oh, God,
all right,
that was
Jay.
a good one. I don't know, man. I mean, it's Meta World Peace. I mean, it's like 45 on like 3 bad knees and 2 bad hips. All right. I mean, I don't know what Manny's expecting from this, but I mean, more pride to you, bro. Go ahead.
All right. Now the UFC, they're looking to further their drug testing program. They've actually implemented random out of competition testing, and later this year it's going to be going on. So should fighters still be subject to testing even when they're not in competition? What are your thoughts, Phillsner?
Yes. I mean, this is a sport where, these guys are punching each other in the face. If you got some guy that's doing steroids and giving himself a competitive advantage, they can seriously hurt somebody. So, yeah, definitely drug test them out of season.
Hollywood.
Yeah, if they're under contract and they're, they got to follow whatever UFC guidelines they have in place. But, outside of contract, they're in their own personal time, that's up to them. That's their health. That's their career. So I don't think they should
definitely
get involved with that.
Jay.
Are we talking about PEDs or like recreational drugs?
It doesn't matter. Either.
Just test them. They do it in the league on the off season. You're subject to random tests. Why not? You ain't that big for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now on to baseball news. The Red Sox and the Yankees are both sitting out of the playoffs. The Yankees are 9.5 games back from the division-leading Baltimore Orioles. Red Sox are 20.5 games back. How are you feeling about this? Are you happy or disappointed to see the Red Sox and the Yankees in this position? Phillsner.
Well, I am by no means a Red Sox or Yankees fan. In fact, I love to hate on those teams like it's my job. So I'm pretty happy about this. Very happy about this indeed.
All right, and Hollywood.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, anytime you get a different team out in the AL East getting up there, whether it's the Blue Jays or the Orioles or even the Rays, it's good for baseball in general. I mean, as far as the Red Sox and the Yankees not making it, I don't
Come on,
care.
guys. Derek Jeter's last
This is
season.
terrible for the game of baseball.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
baseball is ran by two teams, and that is the Yankees and the Red Sox. If they're not in the playoffs, I don't want to watch it. Okay?
Exactly.
Period. Except
all
when the
right,
Pirates
well,
are there.
Strong words.
Whether it's to root for them or
You don't,
against them.
exactly. You don't care. They have
Yeah.
to be there.
All right, it's Kenny Hill. Is he the next to Phenom after setting a record-setting 511 yards passing performance against the South Carolina Gamecocks? Is he the next big thing? Is he Kenny Football or Kenny Trill, as he said he'd like to be called?
Trail. That's dope.
Is one game. Anybody can have one good game. I'm going to reserve my judgment on this guy until he actually proves it over the whole season. But, he could be. He could be.
Hollywood.
I mean, just come in and step in for Johnny Manziel and have a great game like that, and I'm sure
First game as a sophomore.
Yeah, and against an SEC opponent, and it's not
In their house.
nothing to sneeze at. So we'll
Not
see.
anybody can go throw 511
Yeah,
yards in
sneeze
a
at that.
game. What do you think,
Sneeze
Jay?
at
Kenny Hill is better than Johnny Manziel. I can already see it already. All right, and it's not like he beat a
Ooh.
scrub team. He beat a top 10 team. All right, in South Carolina.
Who's
South
gonna draft
Carolina,
him? Who's going to draft him?
huh?
Who's going to draft him?
Steelers.
Oh, my goodness. All right, it's 9:40, folks. We're going to keep this thing rolling. It is the Average Joe Sports Show. We're going to find out what's on the Joe's mind here in a moment, but we got to get back to the music as we do. Here's Drake featuring Majid Jordan from the Nothing Was the Same album. Hold on, we're going home.
And here's what the Joes have on their mind today.
9:46. It's Kellen here, and my Average Joes for today, Hollywood, Phillsner, and Jay in the studio. And time to talk about what's on these gentlemen's mind. We ran through a number of topics, and we'll go ahead and start out. Phillsner, what you got?
All right, I got a bone to pick with Coach K, all right?
Oh, snap.
Oh, man. So I got a lot of respect for the guy as a basketball coach, but with this Team USA thing, Mason Plumlee? Really? Really? And then
Mason
he cut
Plumlee, don't
Gordon
sneeze.
Hayward? Come on, man.
Don't sneeze at Mason Plumlee.
Come on. Man. No, I will sneeze at Mason Plumlee all day long. Seriously, man, that is straight up nepotism right there. Come on.
So what's your serious bone with it? Why? Why?
what's the
I mean,
Mason Plumlee has done
I understand.
nothing. I mean, he has not done anything in the league.
Jay, what say you?
You sure? I mean, Mason Plumlee is a very, very good defender, and he's a rebounder. I mean, you don't need superstar players on your entire team.
You got Drummond, you got Davis. Those
You
guys
need
are
he's
beasts on
called
the
a
defensive
role
end.
player.
Yeah,
He plays
I
a
think Coach
role.
K, coming from Duke, he's known to have those great college players, not necessarily the best NBA players, but he's going to
He's
have
a
the
role
best
player.
college players, and
That's
that's
why
what
he's
he's
there.
picking up. Yeah,
Play role.
You know, you got your-
I'm not going to question Coach K. I understand
I just don't think he's going to play any really meaningful minutes with the front line that those guys already have there.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, what you got, Hollywood?
Well, I mean, NFL season starts today, but NBA season not that far behind. 2 months left, and and Halloween here, and we got Kevin Love and the T-Wolves owner spitting and spatting with each other already.
Yes.
So that's gonna come up to an interesting.
He
season.
questioned the defense. He said he feels like Kevin Love's going to get exposed on defense.
Yeah, he don't hustle. He's soft on defense, But I mean,
like a drama.
when you got a scorer like
makes some
LeBron James
valid
on your
points.
team,
I
how much
mean-
defense are you gonna be playing?
Well, I don't know. The Heat played some pretty good D there
Yeah.
for a while. That's the reason why they made it as deep as they did. But we'll see. That remains to be seen. And what you got, Jay?
Speaking of the Heat and NBA, all right. Besides the Steelers about to win the Super Bowl, of course. You got I'm
Madden,
kind of
maybe.
interested in
I'm
looking
mad.
at.
Yes.
Shut up. I'm kind of interested in looking at Ray Allen because Ray Allen's on the free agent market,
Yep.
and one of the teams he's looking at is the San Antonio Spurs. All right, which is clearly the greatest team ever be put on a basketball court this year. Sorry, Kellen, but honestly, man, like if
Go
they could
Cavs.
get
On
if
NBA 2K14.
You already switched up right
You're
on
a
there.
hater. So anyway,
Cavs.
if the Spurs could get Ray Allen, in my opinion, you might as well pencil him in for at least another Western Conference final. All right, because
It's gonna be like
It's
Robert Horry in
perfect
the 2000s.
situation.
I don't even think
Hold
they
on.
need
Situation,
Allen to
man.
go to the
Hold
Western
on.
Conference
I'm
final.
going to say this. Ray Allen is 73 years old.
it's all right. So and that trigger still works. He could play for at least another 2 years on the Popovich system. He's
I'm
going
not
to manage his
buying that
minutes.
just because Ray Allen goes there.
Sugar Ray, come to San Antonio, baby.
I think
All
they're
right?
I think they're fine with Gary Neal and,
Come on,
and Danny
Jesus
Granger.
Shuttlesworth.
And, Anyway,
Danny Granger.
obviously, not Danny Green, Danny Green.
Yeah, Danny
excuse
Green,
me. And obviously, football season kicked off. I'm excited. Fantasy football. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
about to beat
I'm
all
telling
you
y'all
guys.
right now, both my teams about to make some noise. Hashtag be killing you clowns and hashtag be crushing you fools. Those are my squads.
And hashtag
it's going
everybody
down.
sucks besides Jordan's team.
So I do want to tell everybody, set your rosters, people. And, I really wish, I've been seeing some other leagues online. People are stepping up the stakes. I saw one league where if you're the loser of the league, right, the champion gets to pick out a tattoo for you.
Tattoo league? Yeah,
A tattoo
I saw
league.
that.
And if you lose the league, they play like a 15 or 16 team league or whatever. And if you are last place, 16th place, you have to get a tattoo of the champion's choosing. One dude had to get Justin Bieber on his thigh. Like the only thing the loser gets to pick is where on their body the tattoo is placed. And it can't be anything incriminating or like anything racist or anything like that.
The bottom
but
of my foot.
it's a bunch of silly stuff. They're getting pink dragons and just weird, crazy, comical stuff. And then another league, a woman, she offered up whoever wins the league can name her child. She's expecting.
Wow.
The winner of the league gets to name her child.
Tobias.
I'd be naming the child. Be crushing you fools. That'd be the name of the child.
Yeah, obviously that's a great name.
You know what I'm saying?
Far, obviously.
Hey, gentlemen, I do want to say thank you very much for joining us on the Average Joe Sports Show today. You guys did a fantastic job as usual, and appreciate you guys coming in this morning.
Go Steelers.